If we take a look at this right here, this is a very similar position to where Hermes was against Levan.
I was drooling. My phone was blowing up and my confidence was going up too.
Yo, guys, so after watching the last King of the Table with Levan, it begs the question that the flop press is the possibility to beat Levan, especially if you drag him into an endurance match, which makes me think that Jerry Caderet could have a significant chance of actually beating Levan, despite everyone saying he would just get crushed recently. And let's see what Jerry said in response to watching the match here. This was on the Fix podcast. This was from yesterday.
And, mate, what did you think of what you saw last night? I mean,
I was drooling.
we chatted about it a little bit, mate. Stylistically, you must have been thinking, oh, this is amazing. My stock is rising like the tide with this thing. Because as soon as we saw Hermes hit the press and was getting a degree of success, your confidence must have been going up and up.
My phone was blowing up and my confidence was going up too.
Yeah. So
Jerry's real confident now after seeing that, and it makes sense to me because especially after Levan got tired, he seemed to be vulnerable to the press of Hermes Gasparini. And the difference between Hermes and Jerry Caderet, I believe, is that Jerry has more actually endurance. He has more endurance. So if he's able to get the match drawn out with a lot of fouls, which all his matches seem to have a lot of elbow fouls, a lot of different starting fouls and discrepancies in the setup and whatnot, which ends up leading to an endurance match. And I think Jerry has some very significant endurance. So it's very possible that unless Levan just completely crushes him to the pad effortlessly every single round, that Jerry can have the possibility of dragging it into an actual match where he's actually in the match. So, but the thing is, Jerry has to go against Hermes first, and that is on May 6th at East versus West 7. That card is going to be huge. Jerry versus Hermes. It's Devin versus Gennady. There's a bunch of other super good matches on that card too.
the last time I know you spoke to Levan, I think was here on the Fix, or it may have been in the presence of greatness. And I remember you were betting cars.
Yep.
You were literally saying, "I will pull you for a car." You know,
I told him he could have whatever one he wanted, and I take whatever he's got. And I think at the time he had like a H3 or something. I don't know how he fits his big ass in an H3, but
I mean, that was showing that you had a great deal of confidence then. Has that confidence increased from what you saw?
after I saw yesterday, oh my goodness, I was super excited, right? Because it's what I said before. I says if he gets in a long match, he's got to run out of endurance quick because he's so heavy. To carry 400 pounds, me carrying 320 is a lot.
Yeah, that's the point right there. If he can drag it into an endurance match, but it's just a matter of if he can stop Levan from pinning him multiple times quickly and actually drag it into a long match. That's really the question about anyone who's going to go against Levan, unless they're somehow stronger than him.
Him carrying 400, that's a lot of weight. So you get him in a long-winded match like that, you see right there what happens. The question is, get in that long match.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly how I'm perceiving it as well. The question is, can Jerry get him into that match? But this next matchup between Jerry and Hermes, East versus West 7, which is again on May 6th, is going to potentially lead to the winner facing Levan again for Hermes or Jerry for the first time. But Levan is scheduled to face Morozov in July, so that's several months after this. So we'll potentially see after that, even if Morozov can beat Levan. If not, who will go against him again. But this is for the official title of the super heavyweight in championship of East versus West. So I think this will be exciting. I don't think it's going to be easy for Jerry to win this match by any means. Hermes is super, super explosive, and we see that Hermes is able to fight inside with the press as well, so he could have good chances. And if we look at the last match of Jerry, as I had mentioned before, Jerry seems to get into a lot of matches where it's just drawn out endurance matches and there's a lot of fouls and it just tends to be an absolute war. And this was no exception against Georgi, which is another massive dude similar to Levan, probably not quite as big, but another top roller who's super large, and Jerry was able to stop him and at least be in the match enough to win.
tell you what, Jerry looks much better now, and George is not getting the same.
And this is honestly a very, if we take a look at this right here, this is a very similar position to where Hermes was against Levan. So it's conceivable that Jerry will have a possibility to getting some type of stop, maybe in a round 2 or round 3, if he's able to slow Levan down after this first couple rounds and get some type of stop in the straps. He'll probably have to do a lot of fouling, potentially maybe elbow fouling off the front, false starting, anything to get Levan tired. But I think if he's able to get Levan tired enough, again, he's 400 pounds. Unless Levan is cutting some weight to be a more healthy version of himself with more endurance, then I think Jerry has a significant possibility of doing some damage to Levan. But again, as I said, we'll see how Jerry does against Hermes first, but this is just some food for thought on a potential match between Jerry and Levan. And Devin seems to be so sure that he would crush Jerry, but it looks like Jerry's stocks are going up as far as the flop press, especially after seeing that match between Levan and Hermes. But what are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments. I'd love to discuss more of this.